You can judge an economic system according to how well it provides food, clothing, and shelter. And then you can add medical care and education and all the other stuff. But we have also, right alongside our medical care crisis, a housing crisis. The cost of housing and rent is off the chart. We used to have a rule of thumb that if you spend more than 25% of your income on housing, you're being abusively treated in your economy. You can't do it. Well, now the majority of Americans are spending more than 25% of their income on housing. I mean, it's a failure. It's like a medical care. It's a failure. The system isn't working. These things can be handled one by one. They can be disguised by a public, a mass media system that refuses to expose the reality. That's like this terrorism that Michael talked about can be used to solve certain kinds of problems in the world. But in the end, you can't do it all. You can't terrorize the world and terrorize your own people out of a standard of living that they were led to expect as their entitlement. The American people don't have 300 years of abysmal poverty as their comparison. They have the middle of the 20th century when they had a really pretty good standard of living. That is being taken away from them, and that is a powerful stimulant to the kinds of activities we saw on the street in Manhattan last week. This is a society that is appearing, and again, let me tell you about emails I get from Europe. They don't want to visit here as tourists anymore, my family, for fear that they are going to be shot on the street by somebody. Now that's an exaggeration, I tell them that. But there's a deeper meaning to their anxiety. There's a shift going on, and there's no end to that. That isn't going to get better. That's going to get worse. There's nothing indicating that it's going to get better. If anything, the very mentality of Mr. Trump and of the people he's bringing into power show you that they are upward and onward with more of this. They want less government and less social support. Okay, that's going to make the rich richer, but that's not the solution to this country's problems. Quite the contrary.
Okay, so that when President Trump says, "Make America Great Again," he doesn't mean going back to what Richard has described, the way it used to be, where everybody could afford a house and everybody could afford medical care. It's make America even less great by going down the same line. It's interesting that the 3 points that we discussed are I've brought up so often: the fire sector, finance, insurance, and real estate. We started by talking about the health insurance, and the shooter said, "This is not terrorism. This is a revolution." A revolution is not that terrorism. We're trying to repair the system. Richard just bought housing. Okay, real estate, insurance, and then behind the whole system is finance. Because just 2 days ago, I think a combination of Blackstone and other companies have developed huge rental housing projects. Most of the construction in the United States now is not creating housing to sell to homeowners. It's creating housing to sell to financial organizations that are buying them as absentee landlords, realizing that now that President Obama has started a big downward slope to replace